A screaming comes across the sky. It has happened before, but there is nothing to compare it to the now. It is too late. The evacuation still proceeds, but it's all theater. There are no lights inside the cars, no lights anywhere. And above him lives girders, old as an iron queen, and glass somewhere far above that would let the light of day through. But it's night. He's afraid of the way the glass will fall. Soon, it will be a spectacle, the fall of a crystal palace. But coming down in total blackout, without one glint of light, only great invisible crashing.
Well, I remember that when Gravity's Rainbow won the National Book Award, it was published by Viking Press, I believe, and the publisher, Tom Ginsberg, an old friend, on the occasion of the National Book Award, they used to have a big gathering, I think Carnegie Hall. Tom was fairly sure that Pynchon was going to win the National Book Award, but he knew that Pynchon wasn't going to appear. And so in a wonderful bit of imagination and cleverness, he got this wonderful actor called Professor Corey. So he came out onto the stage, and Thomas Pynchon was announced, and a great roar of applause because everybody knew that Pynchon was more or less a recluse, and to have him actually appear to get his award, everybody stared at this man, who then proceeded to give a acceptance speech.
The jury has determined to divide the prize between two writers, to Thomas Pynchon for Gravity's Rainbow, which bridges the gap between the two cultures and puts the world of manipulation and paranoia within the perspectives of history. I present this not to Mr. Singer, but to Mr. Pynchon.
However, I accept this financial stipend in behalf of Richard Python for the great contribution, and to quote from some of the missiles which he has contributed. Today, we must all be aware that protocol takes precedence over procedure. However, you say, what does this mean in relation to the tabulation, whereby we must once again realize that the great fiction story is now being rehearsed before our very eyes in the Nixon administration, indicating that only an American writer can receive the award for fiction. I do want to thank you, and I want to thank Brezhnev, Kissinger, acting President of the United States, and I also want to thank Truman Capote, and thank you. I was approached by Herb Gardner to do a thing called Thieves. And Herb Gardner is also a friend of Ginsberg, or I forget how to pronounce his name, but he was the commanding philosophy in the Viking press. And being a friend, he asked, I understand from the article that I read, he asked Pynchon if it would be okay. And Pynchon didn't know me, I didn't know Pynchon. So since we didn't know each other, there could be no responsibility as to the identity of the guy who was accepting the award, because they didn't know Pynchon, I didn't know Pynchon. Pynchon, I wonder if he knows himself, but this is beside the point. It was a very, very interesting assignment, but the fact is that when everybody thought I was Pynchon there, And I was beginning to think maybe I've been reincarnated.